We're recording. All right.
We're here.
Make sure we look presentable. All righty. We are on a call with some support angel and co-creator for the Find Your Why journey. And we're going to share who we are, our life, what it looks like, why we're putting time towards what we're putting our time towards, and why we're called to this Find Your Why journey. And we're going to share it with y'all. And the invitation is to listen for what's available for you. Listen for what you're up to in the world. And my question is, are we living a life that's driven by our purpose, doing what we love to do? Or are we living a life that's driven by our mind or someone who told us what we have to do with our time? And as we take our actions for the days and in the weeks, the relationships with people, our relationship with ourselves, and what we're doing, when we're all 88 years old and we're sitting around in circles and we're talking about the things we did in our life, are we living a life right now such that when we're all 88 and we're making another video, it'll be in 3D scans, people will visually be there? Are we going to be talking about the things that we did that we loved? Or are we going to be talking about the things that we did that the things that we forgot to do that we're really passionate about? So that's a little context in the background as we talk today, as we have this video. What are we doing with our time and why are we doing it? Hoopa. We have Ticon's going to guide some questions and then we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm Marcus Merlin. I like to go by Merlin. Call me Marcus. My mom named me Marcus. I like to go by Merlin when I'm guiding things, and it reminds me of a past life vision of an ancestor of mine, Mr. Merlinius, and connects me to my inner child, my play, the magic, and I also love to be called Marcus. So whatever resonates. And let's shift gears. And Ticon, you want to introduce yourself, and then Amanda?
Sure. I go by Ticon or Ticon. I'm coming back to this project for the third time. I'm super stoked to be a part of it. And I look forward to meeting you when you come to the container and we have a phenomenal time. Pass it down to Amanda here.
Hola, I'm Amanda Luna, but Amanda is perfect. And yeah, I have been neighbors with Merlin for the last 3 years, and we've been known Ticon for some time as well. And we've been co-creating a lot of beautiful events together, women and men circles, and just growing in connection. And so I'm super excited to just be a part of this container to offer my magic. I really enjoy movement and herbalism and being in the heart space. So that's what I'll be sharing during this time.
Awesome. I'm super stoked to be here with you guys today on the call. I just left where they're at, and it's a freaking one of my favorite places on the planet. The green wall right behind them that I love waking up to each morning. So we're just going to jump into a few questions, and I'd like to know, we'll start back with Amanda. What is your land project there?
Yeah, so my land project, my partner and I, Jose, we have a project called Ecomaste. And so it's a healing and learning sanctuary. And we focus on holistic living and natural building. Like I said, I'm passionate about herbalism and movement. And we're just really supporting people to come back to their natural rhythms and also just how to nurture the elements within ourselves and within the land that we steward. It's really about stewarding ourselves first and then stewarding the land around us.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Merlin, would you like to share some about your land project you have going there?
Yeah, have a greenhouse project, and it's really big. It's growing a lot of food, and the vision is. And sometimes people are like, "How come you have such a big greenhouse?" And it's like, Spirit Creator said, "Make enough food for 25 people, enough beds and food for 25 people." And I'm just doing it, and it's really big. And the vision is, I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry every day, and it's a way that we come back to village life of talking, connecting, permaculture aspects, observing, and just growing food together and talking and communicating. And so it's a greenhouse project, also life skills project here on the land, and then up here at Mosen. So there's a life skills project with apprenticeships where people can come and learn and teach life skills, building, growing food, making amazing food, kombuchas, fermentations, krauts. We're going to start making krauts. We have an outdoor classroom for Spanish classes. I don't know about y'all, but I've been resisting like sitting down and learning things for an hour, 2 hours with instructions. But when it's outside with the river running through it, I'm there and I'm like, I want to come hang out here. So whatever's being presented, I'm going to be here. As long as I can have a smoothie and the river flowing, I'm in. So we have that. So it's an educational place. It's going to be mirroring with Ecomaste, and we'll be sharing different gifts, sometimes at one place, sometimes at another. And we're practicing getting out of the way what there is to get out of the way so that projects and human identities can co-create and come together as one. And we're really practicing what that looks like and feels like. And then I have Mozen up here, which is a retreat space for transformational work, druid technology, manifestation, letting things go, the deeper cellular and spiritual level of transformational work, which is what's my new passions in life, my next chapters. And so those are the two projects I have here on the land in Costa Rica with rivers running through it. We live on the same land, Ecomaste and I, and there's other projects here too. There's other really fun project land notes. That's what we're doing.
I think you missed the name of your project there.
Fuente Semilla is the permaculture and food growing portion, and then up top here is Mozen, which is the retreat space, which I have the sacred fire being completed here. I'm going to show just see if a little glimpse of the sacred fire is being completed. I don't know if y'all can see that, but whoa,
it's pretty sweet.
50 people gather. We got ocean views, sunset, and we got a yin yang spiral labyrinth being completed here.
Will you show the green mountain too? Just go to the left, show them the green wall.
Oopa, oopa, look at this mountain.
There we go. That's my view right there. I love that. That garden looks awesome since I left.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing there. I also have a project in Costa Rica. It's called the Finca La Paz. It's about 3 hours to the south of where they're at. And I'm also into community and pretty much the same missions that you heard them on. We're all unified on bringing villages and communal spaces for personal growth, for connection, for reconnection to nature and sustainability. And it's a deep passion of mine that I've been on for about 10 years now. And Find Your Why, which we'll discuss, really for me has connected the why of why I've found myself on this path. I just kind of did it, and then going to Find Your Why, I was like, oh, this is why I'm doing it. So I look forward to sharing some more about it coming up soon. I think we're going to jump into the next question here and ask, what is Find Your Why retreat for you? And I would like to start with you, Merlin. What is the Find Your Why retreat?
It's the journey of my life. I started to ask myself, why am I happy sometimes and then sad, and I'm really happy? My default way of being is like my Uncle Don. It's very happy-go-lucky, connect. I like to ask, my inner child wants to play with people and then see their bigness and create things. And then sometimes I'm disconnected from people. I'm like not relating. This was in the past. This was about 15 years ago. And I started to ask myself, what is my spiritual beliefs? What is it that's having me be up and down in life? And what I got was that 13 years ago, there was my mom and dad's who I hadn't forgiven. And since I hadn't forgiven them, every time something in life would remind me of stories or things from my past that I was incomplete or haven't fully forgiven and recreated and fully let go. I'd be reminded of these things. I'd be in my emotional body, and I'd be having those same emotions that I had when I was 5, 10, 13 years old, whatever it was. And now I was being those emotions instead of my preferred happy-go-lucky spirit just wants to play with other people doing passionate things. I spent the next 5 years mastering forgiveness and letting things go, and then took on different trainings and was called to different trainings that would have me let things go, connect to my inner child, recreate. And then I took on technologies that had my manifestation abilities to create businesses, careers, paths. One of my paths was to help my mom retire and build a house and have a house so she has no bills. And so it's a journey of my life of mastering forgiveness, coming back to that inner child. It's like, yeah, we can do that. We're going to build a 2-story treehouse today. All of our friends are coming, and then we're going to bake a cake, and like everything's possible to 5, 6. Then we play games that we're passionate about to our heart. And so I play games in life. I forgive. I come from the inner child. My spirit says we're doing this and this, and my inner child's flying the spaceship along that path. And that's the journey of the Find Your Why retreat for the most part, coming back to that space. Now, I bring technology for people who have a business that want to go to the next level, a family dynamic, and they want to pull themselves out of their business and have more time to start a family, raise kids, and create teams and teamwork to do the things they were doing so they have more time to do what they love. So wherever someone's at, if they wanted to grow $1 million business or pull themselves from $1 million business and have more time and space for what they love, I've done both. I've created $1 million business. Then I've pulled myself out, started other businesses with team members running those businesses that I can run from here in Costa Rica or wherever I'm at and have more time to do what I love, which is now the healing offerings. And so there's the dynamics of the retreat for the bigger picture.
Can it be a 3-story treehouse?
Yes, with a rope swing and then a fireman slide pole to come down with a pond.
Water slide.
Water slide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Well, awesome. I'm going to jump in here next. The Find Your Why retreat, for me, this will be my 3rd time going to it. And for me, it's a little bit different because I'm using it as kind of like a check-in, because I've definitely found my why through the retreat, and for me it's a refresher and a way to stay on track to the why that for me is actually a huge vision. When I first moved to Costa Rica like 10 years ago, it was on a whim, and I really didn't know what I was going to do, and when I went to this second Find Your Why, it really came clear that the vision, the why for my soul's purpose was to create a transition of culture to return to sustainability. And that meant a very long journey. And in this long journey, I'm finding Find Your Why to be a constant check-in, a regular date in which I can continue to go back and make sure that those stories that we talked about, those emotions from childhood are continuing to be brought to the surface, and make sure that none of them are getting in the way of being in that space that allows me to be at each point along the journey, that allows for me to keep piecing together this a 1,000,000-point puzzle of returning our culture to sustainability and living in harmony with the land. And at this point, I've been invited to co-facilitate, and it's now practicing a lot of the things that have been coming to me in the container, also through other means as well. And it's amazing how simple of a concept it is when we talk about emotions, and how also so far away we are as a culture to actually addressing like how we feel from a way where we can actually like do something with it. Normally emotions, and from my experience, have been something that people run away from, they shy from, they don't want to share them, and they block a lot of connection. And this work is making making light of it and allowing it to really come to the surface in a way where we remember the essence of how powerful we really are, and we allow ourselves to tap in and see how we can transmute within our own abilities what holds us back from our dreams and our life's purpose. So that's what I'd like to share about it, and I'll go ahead and pass it on to you. Got something over there?
Yeah. Why would you, so what's a short answer? Why would you be coming a third time if you have all these things working in your life? You're connected to a land project. You're creating a lot of great things. You also navigate a family. You've got children. You're playing a lot of big games. You finished a book from the first retreat, the first Find Your Why. You finished your book. Why would you come a third time? What is there for you? You'd come a third time.
Well, there's two folds in it. One is because it aligns to my purpose, which is also to facilitate more people to go on this journey. But two, because the depth of emotional clarity that continues to come up as I go through this path, this is such a powerful place to be, to allow me to continue to gain more insight on myself and anything that stands in the way of this vision coming into reality.
And what is something that you've gotten from the Find Your Why that is right now that it's making a difference in your life, right? Like you're using something that you got from the retreat that's making a difference in your life right now, that's making a big difference in your life.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I think towards the end, when we get into the manifestation or the dream planning, being realistic on time frames, like that's one thing that was really powerful when we got into like taking the vision and being like, okay, this is a big vision, and actually going, week by week, month by month, and stacking it up in a format that's actually achievable. That's really helped out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. So navigating timelines, completing projects. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what comes to me first. I mean, there's a lot that comes with just the awareness about forgiveness, which comes in quite a bit with just looking at.
So be real right there. So because here's the thing, Find Your Why. We're going to go deep in saying those things that most people wouldn't say. We're going to bring up the stuff from the past that most people wouldn't want to talk about, so that we can put it out there, so that we know what to remove. So now we can play. When we talk about forgiveness, you're at a place in life right now where you're back living with family.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, I've been living in Costa Rica for like 10 years, and I'm in this big transition, and I'm back in an environment in which I'm around all of the root, I'm gonna say causes, but the root factors in a lot of these emotions that have been stored in, living at my place, but my mom lives here, nice clarity. And it's also, I separated from my ex as well, and navigating the relationship with her and my mother brings up a lot of the things that maybe I thought I had cleared, and it's like, oh wow, that emotion's still there, and it's still present. And the biggest benefit is actually being able to see that now, like see it clearly, like, whoa, there's something for me. And that awareness makes it way more capable for me to not then go into the game of pointing fingers, arguments, fighting, like, oh, this is something that I can manage within myself, because it's something that I'm creating in my own story, because I'm a creator of my own reality. And that power helps me from getting wrapped up in the game of finger pointing and blaming and projecting my faults on the outside, which is a lot of emotions. When you get emotional, that's you get to the finger pointing, like, oh, I feel this way because you didn't love me as a child, or you took my kids, or whatever it might be. But that's something that I'm not able to do anymore and believe, because it's like, actually, those things that happen, but it only impacts me the way that I make it impact me. And so that's been super powerful tool. And I don't think I don't think without it, I'd be able to navigate in anywhere the same capacity. I would just, I'm not say what I'd be, but it wouldn't be the same. And that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back and also utilize anything in this kind of realm that helps me build that fortitude of emotional responsibility, as I call it.
So back navigating with mom, family, ex-wife, having the tools so that each day, whatever comes up, you now have the tools to accept who they are, love who they are, forgive in the moment, recreate them, and communicate with an emotional intelligence, a calm emotional intelligence. So now you're having a conversation with them newly, not holding on to anything from the past, just present for what's going on right now, while having the tools to, like, right there in the moment, forgive, let go, create who they are, and have an emotional, intelligent conversation.
That happens most of the time. I'm not going to claim I'm
But
perfect.
you have the tools.
Here.
You have the
I got
tools.
the
What you
tools.
choose to do is up to you, but you have the
Yeah.
tools.
Yeah, and that's another reason I'm coming back is the refinement for me is something that is coming in really clear. It's like, yeah, I see it, I can do it, but I'm like, ooh, there's still like a little layer there. Like, what else is there for me to like unfold and come into? But it's changed my life completely and dramatically in that capacity.
And I think what you said, like that's all we do. Like for me, I get to do this 2 or 3 times a year when I'm running the retreat. And it's to have the tools is one thing, to know something is one thing, to be that in the moment that matters takes practice. And that's why we come together and we practice these things, so that now we've practiced having the tools in the moment that really matters.
That's it. That's totally it. And the practice makes it perfect, right? So I'm gonna keep practicing and really for me it aligns to this mission because with my family, and this is another thing it's practice to also support the whole of culture who I'm wanting to lead as well as you to make these spaces where we're going to experience all kinds of dynamics. And it's really important for us to be able to be in that space of awareness and discernment so that when we have people come into the community who have whatever stories, that their story doesn't impact us and we can stand in that centered place and really love and peace,
Yeah. Beautiful, brother. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, that was my go for it.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Is she paused? Do we have her? Hello, Amanda? Oh no. I thought she was just so calm, but it's actually a frozen picture. I was like, what a great listener. It's just like,
yeah, I don't know. Let's see if she said anything.
Hola. Okay.
Well, while we wait on her, see if she comes back, we can jump
specifics. Okay.
Let's see if she rejoins. What kind of specifics you want?
Well, even in your shares, like it's great. The more specific that we can be for how something's making a difference in our life, then we're aware of who we are. That's different than who we were before we learned something, before we became aware. We go through life and these things happen, and then we react to things based on how we reacted in the past. And when we are aware of a new way that we can be, a new way that we can react to something, well, now we have the tool. And when we're using that tool, that gift, not the gift that was given to us by mom, dad, or life, the gift that we gave ourselves by going through a transformational experience like the Find Your Why offers, to really acknowledge ourselves when we're using that gift, when we're using that gift in the now, right? So an example, a specific example, and as soon as Amanda comes in, we'll get her share. For me, right now, what's coming up is Amanda's here.
Yeah, but we got the glitch again, so keep talking.
what's there for me is I know that before I was 33 years old, I wasn't aware that I hadn't forgiven, like fully forgiven the people in my life and done some deep transformational experience work to remove that from my past, remove that from my thoughts. And I wasn't able to have relationships with people newly. I would have relationships with people that I was attracted to that reminded me of mom, dad, and the people who I love. And then when I got close to them and they did things that reminded me of mom, dad, I realized I was like, whoa, why, what's going on? Why are you doing that? And I was emotionally impacted the same way that I was from the past. I wasn't able to have relationships with people newly. I was having relationships with people newly and mixing that with my relationships with the people from my life that I hadn't forgiven. And that was causing the up and down. And now that I can see that, I'm able to bring compassion. So the way it's showing up in my life right now is that I meet people and I remind them of their dad. I remind them of their mom, who was the more alpha energy. I remind them of somebody when they get close to me that I didn't have those tools always. And so instead of thinking, well, they're judging me, I don't want them around, I might not want them around if they're judging and saying and doing mean things. But first, I'm going to bring compassion. And I'm going to let them know, hey, it feels like you're judging me. And it feels like sometimes when you say things that maybe you're making me be somebody else, that maybe you're not speaking to me for someone who you just met. It feels like you're making me be somebody from your life. Do you have that experience? Do you see what I'm seeing? And I can bring compassion and ask them honestly and vulnerably, so they can get for themselves like, oh, wow, I'm making you my dad, or I'm making you my mom. And whoa, that's not who you are. I don't want to do that. Okay, great. Let's not do that. And we can have a breakthrough together rather than acting like it's not there. So how it's showing up in my life is I can bring compassion to where people are at who haven't fully forgiven the people in their life. That's something that comes to mind, because it really stops most relationships from happening. If we haven't fully forgiven and let go of things, then when people remind us of those people, we're not able to have a relationship with them newly anymore. We're having a relationship with an incomplete energy from the past, an unforgiven, unresolved story. It stops closeness from really occurring with new people in our life. So bringing compassion to where people are at is how it's showing up.
Yeah, reminds me of just what comes to me right away. Just is the sacred bubble. Just one of the things that I witnessed you do, and yeah, the power of creating a container where people feel safe enough to express like some of the things that they've maybe never even told anybody before, and seeing them do it in front of a group of people that they don't know. It was such a powerful thing. And I guess why I'm saying it, I'm just putting it together, I'm speaking from the heart, is because it created a powerful form of compassion. Like when you see somebody share so authentically, it kind of reflected to just like, yeah, other people in my life, and just being able to see, well, like, wow, like how much is it that people don't really share, and how much am I like reserving this compassion because I really just don't know what kind of things they're carrying and what kind of things they've been through. And that particularly, I don't know, it was just connected for me to like apply that level of vulnerability like outward, and say like, okay, well, I really don't know, like I can't make any assumptions for anybody in my story, and pulling myself back to this place of not assuming, and questioning my own story that gets me into blame, right? It gets me into like a victim mentality. So, oh, look, I think she's back. Yeah,
Can you see me?
we can see you.
Oh my goddess.
You
Yay.
have been seen. Ooh, that's a beautiful concept.
I know that you also need to leave soon, so would you like to share about what the Find Your Why retreat is for you?
Sure. Yes. So, hearing both of your shares, there was some things that were really highlighted for me. Merlin, when you were speaking of, really wanting to maybe up level or bring your passions to fruition. For me, I have a lot of ideas, and I really want to let go of some patterns of resistance and making excuses um, and just being more organized, like finding that structure, and cultivating that within myself so I can bring these big beautiful ideas forth, is a reason why Find Your Why really spoke to me. And I see how you've done that in your life, and that inspired me, and also just like, that level of trust of like, well, like, this is someone who's not just talking about it but is embodying it and has done it. And then another aspect is like, I as you know, like, we have a big project at Ecomaste, and there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm looking to cultivate a team to support it, so I do have the space so I can shine in the ways that are most inspiring to me, and be able to give opportunities to those who, want to learn how to run a holistic hospitality center, and are passionate about cooking and herbalism and those kinds of things. So really, like, the art of delegation is something that, yeah, to be able to honor that, I'm a changeable being, and I have these waves, these ups and downs, but still keep myself accountable to the things that I really want to bring forth. um, so that's an aspect I think that, Find Your Why gives people the opportunity to just, like, if you're ready, like, letting go of the patterns that aren't serving you anymore, and like getting out of the way so we can really bring the passions, like why we're here, forth. And then, as far as like, we live in community, like relationships, there's a lot of, we're imperfect beings living in an imperfect world, right? And I've done a lot of growth in the last 3 years being in Costa Rica, but I want to fine tune and refine, like Ticon is saying, like, it's kind of just like polishing my skill set, so I can be a better, communicator, and hold the emotions that I feel, um, and not necessarily, make them to be something, like being able to let go of my stories and let go of, my judgments, deeper levels of forgiveness is something. I've done a lot of forgiveness work, and I feel like the more and more that you can forgive and let go, there's like the Trevor Hall saying, like, or song, like forgiveness is like, it's forgiving, right? So really, I think this year is, a lot of these concepts really embodying them, and together it's much easier to do this kind of transformational work. Like, you can read about it, you can practice it by yourself, but when you have everybody in a group that's doing it, like, it accelerates it, and it leaves like a deeper groove within you. And I'm really excited about, it sounds kind of like funny, like, I'm excited for structure, like, I'm excited for accountability because I understand by having that structure and having that accountability, then that really does give you a lot of freedom. But first, it's establishing that. So I was really like resistant to that for most of my life, and now I see like, okay, I've done like the work to be receptive and not take things so personal. I still take things personal sometimes, but I'm ready to just take it to the next level of really like owning my stuff and fully stepping into the powerhouse that I am.
Boom.
Boom.
She's coming to the Find Your Why.
Yeah.
So there's two things that you said there. So the interesting thing is this, is that I learned in my life that even though I had the tools to do things, I found reasons and excuses and stories to hold myself back from doing that thing I knew was good for me. How many of you have this in your life where you know that something's good for you, you know what to do, you've given your word to something, and for some reason you find a reason or a story or excuse to not do it, even though you know it's really good for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something that I was just talking to a brother the other day about, like, it's been proven, like the way that we think, it's like resistance always comes before you take that step. It's like it's always going to come before you take that step, and then right after you take that step, then the motivation comes. But it's taking that step, and when we're all taking that step together, then there's so much more motivation, because especially when you have a really big project or a really big dream, it's like, wow, this is all on me. But then when you realize, like, yeah, I'm responsible for the vision, but then I can create the systems in which to support me. So that's it's like this yeah, it's like a circle of like a cylinder, like a vortex, like that's kind of supporting that motivation to continuously go instead of getting stuck and dropping off.
Yeah, you bring up an important topic. So like when in a retreat setting or in a group setting, it's almost like going to the gym. Everyone's getting it. So where you might quit on yourself, you're like, well, someone else, they're over there getting it. Let me just get 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
And doing this type of work of forgiveness, like we're looking to have conversations with ourselves that we a lot of us buried and put in the background, and we don't realize the impact it's having on our life. So by bringing it up and making it fun to do it and having other people there with us on the same journey, it's easier, it's more fun, and it's empowering to be doing this journey with other people. Okay, we're all forgiving. Okay, we're all learning a structure together. We're all learning about things that we used to stop ourselves, and now we're being honest and vulnerable about what's there. We're not going to do those things anymore, and creating a new way of being, a new way of keeping our word to ourselves and the things that matter, while doing that with other people. So taking on these practices, each day is a transformational journey in the Find Your Why. We're going to be doing things that's like most people won't do because they want to live a normal life. They want to bury that stuff, not talk about it, and just keep business as usual. So going through these changes with other people doing it is very inspiring. It's almost like having someone hold your hand in the dark, where it's like scary. There's noises in the jungle. I don't know what's going on. And we might freeze up. The resistance you're talking about, the resistance might have us freeze. And someone just has your hand and says, I'll get you there safely. And then just having that, it's like, all right, I feel safe. Let's go. I'm going to follow you. And having a group setting really does do that. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. That's
thanks for that amazing share.
Yeah. Thank you for just holding the space and for all that you're all bringing. I'm really, really excited for this opportunity. grow together, to evolve. Every time we come together, like we're all magic, but together it's just like this beyond our dreams, you know? So for me, like something that's come to me is getting into the feeling, you know, the feeling of what, like knowing what we want to create, right? But being able to like really embody in a literal way what that feels like. And when we can all do that together, amazing miracles happen. And I really believe that like this experience is going to be that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more thing, and then did you have something, Ticon? I wanted one more thing with Amanda's. So the Find Your Why journey and this transformational work, letting things go, inner child, and then creating a passion game with structure, weaving the masculine and the feminine. We sleep in the caves and the waterfall. We have a inner child beach play day, fire ceremony release, a Mayan fire ceremony release. These powerful practices are new to Amanda and to the people joining. However, Amanda's taking on the role of guiding the morning flow. So that each day has an intention that we're all embodying as a whole, that group setting, holding each other's hand. And Amanda's got a very much practiced of taking the intention and bringing it to our heart and moving our bodies and stretching with yoga and connection through a nice, beautiful mindset. And she'll be guiding that morning flow. You want to just share like 1 minute? So at the retreat, Amanda's going to be with everybody most mornings, connecting to their heart and the intention of the day. We'd like to share a little bit about just a minute or two of what people can expect from you at the Find Your Why journey in the mornings, being blessed by you, the first guide of the mornings of the blessing the day with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I one of my gifts is to be able to create a container where people can drop into their hearts and into the present moment. And really with that, it's like letting go of your stories, letting go of like what happened before, what's going to happen after, just arriving like the medicine of the now moment. And then and when you're in that space of right now, to drop in a really clear intention of where you're going to be taken on the day, but feeling that in your heart, feeling that in your whole being, and then that is the vibration that you're resonating with, and the group will be resonating with. And I work with yoga, with Qigong, so connecting to the different elements within the body and around us. So, you know, each day you can expect to just feel really grounded and supported by the elements around you, but also just feeling that sort of that sense of centeredness within you. So you're kind of like a clear channel to receive whatever is meant for you.
Let that sink in. Say that last sentence one more time.
Okay. That was sort of channeled, so it's always hard to do that. So I'm going to support you becoming a clear channel so you can receive whatever is meant for you.
Yeah.
With some yummy breakfasts and a good old smile and maybe some hugs too.
Yeah, I am full of smiles and love, and you know, I really love connecting to people one-on-one and supporting you and like where you are in your heart, and if there's things in the way of being in the heart space, like I'm there for it.
And banana mango passion fruit smoothies.
I mean, that's gonna be Jose's stuff. Like you can expect the space to be super blessed up and beautiful. Like flowers are my love language. So it's going to be a beautiful container aesthetically and energetically. And then my partner is going to like feed you with some yum yums.
Well, I will definitely take responsibility for the banana mango passion fruit smoothie. So
There you go.
go ahead and sign up for that now.
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I mean, I know you need to go soon, and I really appreciate you coming and being part of the call. And Merlin, you want to stick around here and close out a little bit more?
Yeah, and do you guys sign off, Amanda?
Yeah, I've got to sign off. Thank you so much for being here with us. So much love, and looking forward to connect with y'all at the Find Your Why retreat.
Woo! Have a wonderful day.
Talk soon. Thank
Ciao,
you.
amigos.
All right. I think like with that, I feel like just sharing a little bit of the flow. So it's a 12-day journey. We start off slow with forgiveness. We have the most amazing morning flow guided by Amanda. We have an amazing breakfast. Connect with the people in our groups. We have a journey for the day planned out. At night, we'll connect with a little bit of music and a little bit of flow, sing some heart songs. Have a beautiful forgiveness first 3 days, fire ceremony. So each day has an amazing experience. We eat the best food, we drink the best water, we connect with people in the group, really close, really connected, share about each other's lives. We all get to share and interact and learn about each other, learn about each other's lives, what's been holding us back, so that we can let that go. And then we dive into inner child. We learn about each other's inner child, who that person is before anything got made up of who they're not. Let me repeat that. We learn who people are before anything got made up about who they're not. That's who we see each other as. Then we keep on getting to know each other. Beach day, waterfall day, beautiful journeys of ceremonies each day. Keep eating amazing food, getting to know each other. Then we connect to our purpose inside of a waterfall under the caves. We channel our purpose. Then we come back down, grounded in reality, write up a written manifesto, which is our passion game, to create what Amanda was sharing and what other people are wanting to learn is how to take the thing that's most important to us, not the things that we thought we had to do. That's going to disappear in the retreat. These things that we thought we had to do, when we're from our heart, we're lit up about certain things about life. That's what we're going to create passion games about. And then how we're going to get there, a dream team, who we're going to be as human beings on that journey, and what is that passion game. Really well thought out and mapped out. And that's what we're going to all leave the retreat with, almost like a magic scroll. Like, here's where I'm at, here's my purpose, and inside this scroll is where I'm going with this life. And that's the journey. That's what it's going to look like. That's what it looks like.
I think the only thing you missed was music.
We're going to have music most evenings. This one's fun. We're going to be bringing, everyone's going to write a song about their life. Maybe come up with some chords, practice some instruments, writing a song where you'll be singing a song about your life and have some musical chords to go with it. So anywhere you go in life, you can say, hey, can somebody play the guitar with the C and the D? I should get my guitar with the C and the D. And then you got the lyrics, and now you got the lyrics, and you can sing a song about your life's past and where you came from. I used to believe I wasn't good enough. I used to believe I wasn't loved. And then I connected to what was true to me, and I served myself some self-love. Like, just, like something fun that becomes your fun singing motto, your new mantra. And now my cup is full of self-love. Who needs some self-love? I got you. I just made that up, but we're going to play with it, and we're going to sing what was there, and we're going to sing what is now, and we're going to create that journey together. It's going to be really fun. I tell you, one of my favorite things in life is when I was on this journey of what is my spiritual path? Where am I going with this life? What is my purpose? It's funny that my purpose is to guide everyone to their purpose that I meet. Guide people to their purpose is what I found. And that everything I thought was important means nothing. The only thing that means something is guiding people to their purpose while starting a family of my own, staying connected to the people in my life along the way. going to transformational retreats for 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, getting to know people like that in a container for that many days, that much minutes, that many hours, and those close relationships, that is some of the most fun memories in my life. And you meet soul family that you stay connected to for the rest of your life in these kinds of journeys. That's a big part of coming together. Is another thing what Amanda said is getting that other people are in the same place we're at in life. Like they're up to the same things we're at. They're bumping up against the same hurdles we're bumping up against. Forgiveness, letting go, reconnecting to that true self, the inner child play, and how we're going to get there. And to be around people that no matter how hard or dark or shadowy or sad our stories of our life, we're going to meet people where it's like, whoa, I thought I had a lot going on. And we see that everyone's in the same place managing some things from their life and their past. So now we're relating all as one, and we get that we're not alone in this journey. And now we've got a tribe of people that we're going there together. That's a big impact of knowing that we're not alone with the things going on in our life and that we're going on a journey together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty amazing. And what were the dates on those?
March 17th through the 28th. March 17th in Costa Rica. Smoothie in your hand, big hug, and meet the tribe of 21 other people that are going on the Find Your Why journey. Get to know the land, river swimming, fire ceremony, sleeping in a cave in a waterfall, going to waterfall experiences, beautiful private beach space, or semi-private in Costa Rica, hardly nobody there. Inner
Yeah,
child.
and then afterwards, there's those 2 containers starting up at Ecomaste and Fuente Semilla. So if you get super excited, you could apply to stay around and become part of the community and really make this an extended journey.
Yeah, here we have a cultivator apprentice model that if you wanted to stay in Costa Rica after the Find Your Why, you can learn life skills, take the practices that you learn from the retreat, put it into your life, keep playing with your game, keep creating teams, and basically live on the land with other people, live on the land with community, and stay here for a few months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Home is here.
Well, I'm going to be there, and I look forward to seeing you. I'm actually running to the end of my time frame here. Is there anything you'd like to close with?
If a transformational experience this year of letting things go, reconnecting to your play, your passion, and having that dream, a vision. Often in life, spirit shows us vision, and we see it, and it's like, wait, can I have that? I don't know if I can have that. Like, well, it's up to you. If you want that vision in this life, and you know that a transformational retreat with myself, with Ticon, with Amanda, and the 3 other support angels that'll be there, if your spirit and your intuition and your heart says this is going to make a difference for us, I invite you to come. Don't listen to your head. Oh, what about this? What about that? If you have an intuition that this will make a difference for you, that is your spirit saying, do it. My invitation is follow your spirit, follow your heart, do what's best for you, and don't listen to any stories. Stories are for campfires and marshmallows.
So they can get their tickets at findyourwhy.info.
Findyourwhy.info.
Yeah, and we're super stoked to see you there, and I really want to amp
We'll
back
put the
into.
information. Yeah, we'll put the information down below for the website and everything, and tune into that. And
I think there's a note on there I'd just like to share real quick is when I first moved to Costa Rica 10 years ago, I had only been there one time, and I had this calling, this intuition, and I was like, I don't speak Spanish. I don't know permaculture. I don't know anything about what it means to go, but I followed that calling, that jump, that step, and it yielded the most amazing journey that's continuing to unfold every day. So I can only give a firsthand account that when you really follow the intuition of your heart and your soul, it leads you to places that your mind never really thought about before.
and you know, the leaders above, the shadow above, the things we're seeing on the news, the wars, blacks against white, Americans versus police, Muslim versus Jew. I'm just going to speak right into it. That's to stop us from following our heart. Humans naturally want to play together and support. The most common characteristics of humans is to care for other humans. If we hear a sound in the jungle and we hear that it's a human, every one of us is going to go help. We're not going to ask, what religion are they? What color are they? What are they? Are they male or female? Are they tall or short? All we do is care about other humans. And anything that's getting in the way of that is stopping us from connecting to our true self. Take a break. Take a break from the blanket of leaders above, the dark energy above. Come back to yourself. Forgive and let go. Come back to your purpose and live a life inside of your purpose. That's my invitation. I would love to see you here.
And we're going to close it there with that strong end. Thank you so much, Merlin. See you there at the Find Your Why.